we are going to start off with a poll hearing for 98 Burnham Road. And we have a guest from Eversource. Come on up and introduce yourself.
My name is David Meager. I'm a service designer with Eversource.
Great. And we might be joined by our highway superintendent. And we had a couple of issues this afternoon over in Highland Ave.
We have one main.
Yeah. But we're going to open this since this is a hearing formally open this meeting, so before we get going.
It's written, she put the language on the agenda.
Yes, and then I'm just looking at the checklist. What?
I don't yet because I'm rattling around.
We do. Yes, we were yelled
I'm
at.
sorry, I said that I was going to be a few minutes late, but I didn't realize I'd be rattling, so I apologize.
You were kind of right on time. And here comes Bernie. Okay.
We have a
It just takes
full house
us
tonight.
a couple minutes to get going. Okay, Bernie. Sarah just got here too, so we're just about to start the poll hearing.
Yep.
So, under the provisions of Chapter 166 of Massachusetts General Laws and any additions thereto or amendments thereof, the Select Board is holding a public hearing on September 9th, 2025 at 6 p.m. on the petition of Eversource to install one JO 40-foot pole to service 98 Burnham Road. So, I'm moving that we open the hearing officially. So I need a second.
Dan Campbell seconds.
Okay, great. And all those in favor?
Aye.
Do we need to state that out loud for the record, each individual vote? Okay, good, okay. And I've read the public notice. So David, why don't you tell us a little bit more about what a 1JO 40-foot pole at 98 Burnham Road is designed to do?
All right, so JO is joint owned, so
Okay.
Verizon and Eversource.
Got it.
So the reason we need a new pole is if you're looking at, you guys have the drawing?
Yes, we do. So I do.
So pole 39 and pole 40 are outside the property of 98. So we need a way to access this property to service the new houses being built. So that's why we are requesting to set a new pole.
Okay. And we don't have, I'm just looking at the audience, and we don't have anybody who has any questions or comments about the poll. Sandra, have you received any questions or comments about the poll?
And Mr. Walker approved.
That's right. So,
I-
you have a question? Go ahead, Bernie.
So they're putting a new house in,
Yes.
they're gonna be connecting to the sewer.
That's-
I just wanna make sure when you do the dig safe, you guys do dig safe for you for polling.
Right, yeah.
That you check with the sewer department, make sure there's not a line too close to where you're gonna put the pole.
Well, yeah, we would, obviously, during
Yeah.
dig safe, we would not stick it, obviously, in the sewer. They'll stick, it's a general area, and if there's anything in line and it has to be outside of 10 or 15 feet of where we staked and approved it, we would come back and look for approval for a different location.
Yeah.
But
Okay, because you usually check with what, Tom?
Well,
Usually
Tom
check-
usually looks at it, and
Tom,
I
yeah.
talked to him last night.
Okay, I'll send something to Tommy, I want him to check with Isaac, and just to make sure that the sewer line isn't too close there.
Right.
You know, we had an instance where a line, we just recently repaired a line that was actually clipped a little, wasn't broke, but clipped a little when they did a pole 5 or so years ago.
yeah,
And so we don't want to get in that situation again.
We still haven't forgotten it.
No, we just had to fix
see
it.
grudges
It's
are
memorable when those
We
things
just had to
happen.
fix it last
Yeah.
week.
No, it's
So-
just happened.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, the only issue with the dig safe is it's not 100% perfect,
Mhm,
right?
right.
So, I mean, the dig safe, they come out, they do their thing, they mark where they think it is. If we go based on their markings and the sewer's there, I mean, you can't hold us accountable for that, because dig safe is not done by, it's done by, we used to be USAC, but I don't know who it is now, but, so I mean, it's, it's not a foolproof thing, unfortunately, but we try to stay away
So
from
you
all
Well, that's why I was
utilities.
trying to say, please, make
Just
sure that
double
Tommy,
check.
I'm gonna make sure Tommy connects with Isaac. And one other opinion on a best guess
Yeah.
is better than just one person.
Yeah.
Like, well, you know, it's easy enough to get Isaac up there, our chief operator. And he knows where a lot of the lines are, he'll have a good idea.
Yeah. Operations will handle that. The guys who are setting the pole, the supervisors, they work on all the dig safe and handle all that part of it.
Okay,
Okay,
great. Any other questions?
Nope.
Okay. I don't see any public input. So I will ask the board whether they wish to vote to accept or decline and offer a motion to that effect.
I have one question before we do that.
Okay.
Just for the citizens who are listening. When this kind of hearing happens, we send out information to the neighboring properties, correct?
And it has to be posted well in advance, yeah. That's correct, thank you. Okay, anything else? Nope? Okay,
Dan Campbell accepts.
Did you make a motion already?
Yeah.
no, I just
Oh.
asked for a motion.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to
Thought you-
approve the,
Yeah, or you can just use that.
yeah,
So,
to approve the pole on 98 Burnham, the IJO 40-inch pole to service 98 Burnham Road.
right,
Second.
great. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and Sandra, we need to vote to, yes. I move that we close the hearing.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Aye.
David, you are
Thank you.
done.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And my number's on here, so if you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out. Okay?
Yep,
Thank you.
yep. Thank you. Thanks, Bernie, for following up. Mr. Latoile, we can start early. So you're pinch hitting for Mr. Sellers tonight?
Yeah, he had unexpected child duty tonight. Not that the child was unexpected, but the
Duty.
duty was unexpected tonight. So I am pinch hitting.
Excellent. So we have three things. We have a seasonal permit application, so we'll talk a little bit about that. And then we also have a temporary one-day liquor license for the Kilowatt Cross that's coming up at the end of September, and the Great River Challenge coming up at the beginning of October. And those events have already been, are already approved. So we're not talking about the events, we're just talking about the pour, the liquor license for the day. Let's start with the seasonal permit application. Does anybody from the board have a question? Wants to kick this off?
maybe just for Sandra and Andrea, have we had any complaints? No, okay. That's my only thing. No complaints.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's what we love to hear. Place where a lot of townspeople come and a lot of out-of-towners come,
Yes.
and we serve adult beverages and non-alcoholic stuff too. But no complaints is music to my ears. So.
It seems, is there anything else that you want to share with us about the business and what's coming up? Because I think this is a good opportunity because
Yeah,
you guys
you know-
have really been growing year over year, and I think
Yeah,
it's always great
sure.
to share that.
So it's amazing to us. Our receptivity in the community, wonderful support. I'll be honest, the brewery world is really challenged right now. As a hop seller, we have a lot of communication and a lot of engagement with other breweries across the state, across New England. And it's amazing how many of them are going out of business. In our area, there have been either going out of business or drastic business model changes between Pioneer Brewing, Brick and Feather.
Yeah.
There's a third one I'm blanking on the name of right now that is in our immediate area. Across the river in Bernardston, the brewery that was there was going to close. They ended up selling to somebody else who's making a go of it. Just habits are really changing in the public. but we continue to see year-over-year growth. It's still a challenging environment for us as well. Several years later, we're to the point now where we have a pretty good confidence that we'll be able to survive into the future and be a place that people are coming to for many years. But it's been touch and go for quite a while. And the ability to just operate in the town that's friendly and accepting and has a lot of community folks that come. A lot of our immediate neighbors come and like to just see their other neighbors and connect with each other. And that kind of segues into the permit. You know, we do a ton of events. We do a lot of events, but you know, one night our events may be literally a cookie decorating class with 30 people. And we might do an event that is a band that's coming, it's 200 people. And so for us, we don't necessarily differentiate a whole lot between those because our operations are very similar, whichever end of that scale we're on, because those are small events that we handle with our existing bathrooms and our existing parking lots and our existing staff levels. Sometimes we close for a wedding here and there, and we'll have tents up for those. Sometimes we have events like a party or a wedding that might have a tent, but they're not renting out the space in its entirety, and they're just there while we're open during regular business hours. So what's a special event, what's a seasonable event for us is kind of an ambiguous thing because we do all of these events through the year. In applying for this event permit, we really just wanted to help out the town's process of saying, hey, yeah, we do a lot of these different kinds of events, and we'll fill out the application and we'll share this information in case folks have questions. But this isn't because we're making some shift or we're going to suddenly be doing events with 300 to 500 people or something like that. I'm not saying we won't do that. If we do, we'll come to you and we'll have a conversation because that'll be outside of what we've talked about in this permit application. But one of the things that has allowed us to survive and grow over the years is having all of those events, sometimes 2 or 3 in a single week, especially in the summer.
Yeah,
I'll
now
pause
that
there.
we're moving into the fall season, most of these, like the cookie classes and things, and puzzle night, for example, because I know that's a
Yeah.
big one for you guys, those are all indoors.
Yes, most of the events we do are indoors. Sometimes there's weddings and stuff, and they'll be outdoors, even into the fall. We have some hardy folks who want to get married in October, and New England is, of course, beautiful, and weather can be a little iffy, and that's why folks want tents, and they want to be able to have walls up on the tent if they need to. But our tap room was intentionally built. Our limit's about 70 people in the tap room, so it's not it's a nice wide open space when you're inside. But we're not doing events of 200 people inside. We wanted to make sure that when somebody walked in there in the winter and there was only 20 or 30 people, it didn't feel like a big open, empty space. Right? It could flex to lots of different seasons and sizes. So if we do a wedding with 100 people or 150 people, in those cases, we're always asking the customer to rent a tent because we can only have 70 inside, and we can certainly seat a wedding of 70 inside, but most weddings these days are more than that. Even if they're only 100, they're still more than 70. Thankfully, our septic can take it, our bathrooms can take it. When we have events up to 200 people, but just the indoor capacity is limited at that 70 threshold. So, yeah.
Yeah, I just also want to say thank you because you've been hosting the library trivia nights.
Yeah.
And I think the bingo fundraiser was your 200 people one.
Yeah,
So-
we may have even gone a little over on those. Sometimes it's hard to tell how many we actually have versus what we plan to have. If we plan to have more than 200 people, we absolutely reach out. For that one, we may have been a little over that because it was a wonderful turnout. It was a beautiful day. Yeah, and we try to be very thoughtful about making our space available to all different sorts of community events. And we have folks who come and kind of set up a little mini event of their own. They've let us know they're coming. They've let us know that 30 of their friends are coming. But we're not charging for folks' space and those kind of things. We just invite them to use our place.
I also don't know if anybody realized that some of the money was donated from the poor's to the library. Is that-
Yes.
yeah.
Yep. So for the bingo night, I forget the exact dollar amount. I think it was $1 of every pour. We also gave to the library in addition to what people actually bought for the bingo cards and those kind of things. And we've done those a few times where there'll be an event that we do. It might be a band that's come in. We don't ever charge a cover charge or any fees for folks to come to these events. But sometimes in support of a certain organization, we will just say, yeah, $1 of every pour we do that night's going to go to this particular organization.
Thank you. Thanks
Absolutely.
for doing that.
The town's done a lot to support us, so we want to support the town.
Do you see a lot of people coming in from out of town that are partaking?
Yeah, so a lot of it's weather dependent. If we have a really dreary day, almost everybody you see has come from within 15 miles. Because who wants to risk a long drive and not know what it's going to be like? But when we have a beautiful sunny day, we can tell a little bit through our square analysis and just our knowledge of customers and conversations where they come from. And on a busy fall day, to me, it's really cool that about a third of our customers will be from within about a 10 or 15 mile radius. A third of our customers will be from New Haven or Boston, or people who have come a long way, maybe not just to see us, but they might be going to Treehouse for an hour or two. They might be coming to our place for an hour or two. They might be going to Yankee Candle. They're making a day trip of coming to Franklin County.
Yeah.
And then the other third is somewhere in between. And it's really cool to me that we are bringing a lot of people in from outside of Northfield, especially on these
As far as
beautiful
I'm
days.
concerned, any kind of business that brings people into our town and spending money in our town is good for the town. So I commend you on the business you're doing.
Especially when there's been no complaints.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, putting those two things together is
yeah,
pretty
it's
awesome.
perfect.
Any other questions on this part?
Done.
No? Okay. Motion to approve the seasonal permit application for the brewery at Four Star Farm.
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Okay, and now we're going to move on to the temporary one-day liquor license for the Kilowatt Cross at 99 Millers Falls Road, Northfield Mountain Recreation Center. I think you guys have done this one before.
Yes.
September 28th, 2025, noon to 5 p.m. Any questions on?
So this would be a full liquor license, is that what I'm understanding?
No, so we only do beer.
Only
Yeah,
beer and
yeah, and just what we make.
cider,
And
that sort of, yeah.
yeah, sorry. So there's we don't bring them to the events. That's why I was like just beer at the event. We're only able to sell, whether it's a one day or whether it's a regular day in our brewery, the things that we make, which are the beer, wine, and cider. All those we make. At these events, we just bring beer, and we just bring usually 2 beers. It's not
Okay.
5 or 6 different kinds, and yeah.
Anything else?
That's,
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the temporary one-day liquor license for the Kilowatt Cross at 99 Millers Falls Road, Northfield Mountain Recreation Center for September 28th, 2025 from noon to 5 p.m.?
So moved.
Second.
That was like within a split. Okay. We like to have a little
I
competition
like
on
it.
the, yeah.
It keeps it moving.
Yeah. All those in favor? Aye. Okay. All right, and next up is the one-day liquor license for the Great River Challenge. Ooh, I hope it's a nice day.
You know. So much of this stuff is weather dependent.
Yep. Any questions on that? Nope. Then can I get a motion to approve the temporary one-day liquor license for the Great River Challenge at 99 Millers Falls Road, Northfield Mountain Recreation Center, October 4th, 2025, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m.?
so moved. Second.
Thank you. All those in favor? Aye.
Perfect.
Great. Okay.
Thank
So we
you
will
all.
sign everything. We've got a few things we need to sign, you guys.
All right.
I'll pass it around.
But no signatures from me, right? You have all you need from me?
Does
I
he get
bel-
a copy of that?
Not yet.
No.
Not yet.
Everything goes to Sandra.
Thank you all for what you do.
Xander makes sure we're on the up and up when it
Yes.
comes to alcohol, so,
Probably other things too, but especially
Yeah.
those.
Many other things.
yeah,
And we have to sign those too, or?
Yep.
yes. And also the poll hearing documents where it says all. And Dan, where it says for you as the clerk of the select board. Oh, good, Tommy's here. Tommy, we're running ahead of schedule. Would you like to come up? And then we'll,
Get to go home sooner.
head out. Have a great evening.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for
Thank
coming
you very
in.
much, sir.
Thanks for pinch hitting.
Absolutely.
Mr. Walker, how's it going?
Going.
You've had I don't know what to say, a busy year, busy week, busy day,
Everything.
every
All the
day.
above.
Every darn day. Okay. So we've got a few topics, and I know Sarah, as the liaison, is going to weigh in as well, and Andrea can too. I just thought we'd kind of wrap it all up into, since you guys have a few things that you've been working on together. So first of all, on the hiring, do you want to give an update on that?
I did
Who
my
wants
best.
to do it?
I did my best, several emails back and forth, answering questions, went all the way up to step 3, which was the highest we were considering, and no dice. We've already reposted it, so
Okay.
So we had a good candidate.
we did.
We offered the job, but we couldn't come together on the pay.
All of,
Yeah.
yeah, all the pay and benefits, so.
I'm sorry to hear that.
One of the really important things is that, we have to consider what we're paying other people in the department. When in corporate world, as you know,
Yeah.
often the new hires will come in and they'll be making more than people who have been here for a long time. And so we're careful
Yeah.
to not do that. And so we have the leeway within what we're paying other folks.
Right. Well, that's why we have the salary grid, so we know which step everybody is at. I'm sorry to hear that. And I know you guys spent time on it, and he was a good candidate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought maybe the commute didn't help on top of that, so. Okay, so we will onward and forward.
Yeah.
It's already posted. Hopefully we'll get new applications in the next couple of weeks. Do you want to talk about all of the various and intersected Highland Ave projects and events, shall we call them?
Well, the culvert was done
Okay,
What do you mean was done? Is there?
until the rain the other night.
Oh, and
And because we didn't complete the sidewalk aspect because the sidewalks are coming through, so we didn't waste money on paving because they're gonna be cement sidewalks. So we left that vacant, and unfortunately that torrential rain jumped the dirt that we left because it's not up to grade
right,
and washed out part of the end of the culvert. Nothing major. Residents very concerned because it's been an ongoing problem. So I met with the engineer. He came out yesterday. We came to a few conclusions. Hopefully things are gonna work. It's a tough area because of the steepness of the bank.
well, and it's down in a gully anyway from
Right, but the
geographical.
products
yeah.
we're using on the bank, they were specified to use stone, but to appease the residents, they didn't want stone on the front, so we ended up using dirt and putting plantings in. And as dry as it's been, the plantings haven't really taken hold either, which is gonna take time even if we had, but we didn't need the torrential rain.
Right,
The torrential rain, I mean, we got 3 inches of rain in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And the drain that we put in also got plugged with some leaves, so that contributed to it as well. It's at fault of nobody's, it's just unfortunate it happened. We gotta go back and take down some of the fence to fix it, cause we can't reach it with the fence up on the driveway. But I've been trying to work with the engineer as to different solutions to keep it to stay. I have to go back and meet with the resident again, and we've come up with a few things, but she wants to be involved, and I wasn't able to get a hold of her today to meet with her.
Okay.
The engineer sent me another reprint. We're gonna add another drain next to the drain that we have. And then, we wanna use riprap, and possibility of using riprap underneath so it's more stable,
yeah,
and then put dirt on top to put the flowers in.
okay. Didn't you use riprap over, like, around the corner on Holton, too?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but she didn't want the riprap in
even though
where
it's.
she was looking out the front of her house all
Yeah.
the time. She wanted, we put Packer sander plants in there. And they will grow, they will spread, they got a hardy root system, And and she has been out watering them every night and everything, but I mean, as dry as it was, I had another issue on the ridge as well today. The ground is just so hard, it didn't take the water. The water just ran off the top as fast as it was running down. I mean, we had roads that had 7 inches of rain running, water literally running down the road, and
Right.
the drains are all overwhelmed. There's nothing anybody can do about it. It's unfortunate. And anybody that's in a low-lying area is gonna take the brunt of a rainstorm like that.
Is there consideration, so originally the plan was to use stone, the homeowner requested not. If it's gonna be an ongoing issue, it might be a monetary issue for the town that we need to go ahead and put the more sturdy material in there.
Yeah, well, that's why we're gonna raise the sidewalk higher, and so what we're gonna do now is, that's what I gotta talk to her about. We came to the conclusion yesterday of mocking it all with the dirt. So where the top of the sidewalk will end up. Because what she's concerned about now is the sidewalk is up here, and when you drop off to Highland Ave, how steep it's gonna be here and how steep it's gonna be on both sides of the driveway. And she's afraid when she comes up her driveway that it's gonna be so steep, she's gonna do this.
Yeah.
So we're gonna mock it all up with dirt, because there's dirt there now, and we can take dirt down, we can alter dirt, and it
Oh,
doesn't.
and have her try it out?
Yeah.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah, so that's what I have to go over with her, if she's gonna be okay with mocking it up to that at the height it's gonna be, and then just leave it there, and then they can pull the dirt to each side when they come and do the sidewalks. Cause once they're concreted, that's where it's gonna be. And I think by raising it to where it's going to be is more than high enough to hold the water from even going in the driveway. And then when we repave the road just has base on it now because we're waiting for all the other projects. So we came to the conclusion yesterday of pitching it a little bit the other way when we repave, putting the crown back in with the top coat. There's several things marked up on the plan that he resent me this morning,
Okay.
or last night. And then I went over hoping to catch her this morning, but she was gone. And then I was tied up when she called and she was back. So that's the plan right now. We
Gotcha.
saved all the plants that we could. We got another day's worth of work to go back and fix what we had done. That's the long and the short of the culvert itself. And then it'll be completed. So I don't even want, at this point, I was trying to figure out tonight before I left, but I'm still waiting on some blacktop bills and stuff, but we're only at around $70,000 and I figured around 130.
Okay.
Good job.
Yay.
So, give or take some for what we gotta,
Yeah.
we might have to alter in her driveway a little bit more, to make everybody happy.
So the sidewalks, are those happening this year?
Yep, within
How soon is
probably a
that?
month or so.
Okay, so you want this all straightened out before that?
Yeah, yeah, in case we gotta change anything, because like right now, I gotta get on to where the sidewalk's gonna go to put the other drain in.
Yep.
We're gonna tie, basically what we're doing, there's a drain there now, we're gonna put another drain next to it and tie it to the drain that's there, it's gonna discharge in the same place.
It's looking great. I see it
Thanks.
every day almost.
There's a few alterations on the other side, we're gonna try to cut some of the water off to the side and let it run through the grass a little more where the edge of the road's a little bit higher.
Yep.
So we walked it all yesterday. He was up here for over an hour or so with it, and hopefully this trial and error type of thing. Water's a hard thing to, and the unfortunate part is this house is in a low-lying area.
Yeah.
So we knew it would be troublesome, and so I'm glad it happened so we can see we have to change it.
True,
I guess,
while you're in
too.
the process
Right,
of
right.
yeah.
Not that I want to go back and redo work
Yeah.
again, but
It's
you
like
never
a-
like doing that.
No, it's like a giant puzzle. I'm listening to you describe everything, and it's like, well, first we got to do this, and then we're going to pitch it this way, and then it just, before you even touch the sidewalks.
Right.
So,
And,
yeah.
and unfortunately, it took a little longer than, it was closed a little longer due to the fact we were waiting on parts for the sewer, so we couldn't
Yeah.
finish the sewer line.
Yep.
And then we had to wait to schedule everything with the water department, because that water main got changed all over and brought up to a different area with different valves on it and everything else, so we were basically done in 2.5 weeks. It was a matter of, I couldn't finish the road till this piece was done.
Yeah.
I couldn't finish the road till this piece was
Yeah.
done then.
It's like
So-
Plains over Logan.
Right,
Yeah, you're waiting
right.
for something to
And to
land.
open the
Yeah.
road and try to reclose the road is, you're better off leaving it closed.
Yeah, okay.
I have a couple questions for you. So, is there a way, you said that some leaves and stuff had gotten through, is there a way to do any kind of grade or anything like that?
There's
I know
a
that some-
It happens everywhere, especially
Yeah.
this time. It's hard, it's very hard this time of year because the leaves come down and all it takes, one stick, one leaf gets caught, and then the pressure of the water just holds them there. They don't have time to even try to drop into the holes.
Right.
There is other types of grates, but they don't really want us using them
Mm-hmm.
due to the fact of people walking in bikes because they're more open.
I see.
And if somebody was to step off the sidewalk or whatever, it's because it's right off the sidewalk, and they got their foot caught
down in
that.
there, yeah.
This is a flat top with holes in it.
Got it.
So they've tried to do away with most of those other grates, which are more open, which would take the water better.
Okay.
And would solve some of the leaf problem, because there's a lot more of an opening. These are just little
Yeah.
square openings,
You
multiple.
You could
on
lose
top.
a small dog in one of those
Yeah.
The big
oldies,
one.
yeah.
And my other question is about you said a couple times cement, and I know that the town administrator said that there was going to be asphalt sidewalks. So is just that area going to be cement?
Everything is cement now,
I thought-
because we got to deal.
Did you go back? Because it was
They went back
cement
now.
and then it was gonna be
And what
asphalt, now it's
everybody
back to
did-
cement?
Yes.
No.
No. So one of the reasons it's important for it to be asphalt is that so many people have trees down there, and I've had several citizens talk about you've got to dig deeper for the asphalt. You can kill some of these nice big trees. Also, do you guys normally kind of repair cement or?
No, not,
No.
cement is hard, but he talked to me yesterday about it because there's different cements. Either way, I mean, he was talking about is in by these trees is having cuts in the cement. So if the trees were to fall, the cement will break at the two cuts and it's not going to tear up a lot of the sidewalk. It's still going to end up having to be replaced.
But you guys can replace the asphalt. So if something
Yeah.
happened with the asphalt,
I mean,
our
we
town
can
would fix
replace
it.
cement, don't get me wrong, I
Yeah.
can do it, I just don't. Cement is not very giving, when it moves, this is gonna be wired together, so it should the problem with like the ones on Main Street, for instance, they're not wired together. So if this one in the wintertime comes up, and this one comes up, but this one settles down, and this one doesn't, now you've got a tripping hazard, which we have a lot of those on Main Street.
Which one is more expensive? Is cement more expensive or
Yeah,
asphalt?
cement.
So why are we doing
They
cement?
went back, Alex, all the paperwork he sent to me had cement, and I
I
asked
thought
him
we changed it
yesterday.
over.
We changed it and put the addendum in, but then he said after the bids went out, we had more than enough money,
That was really
and
a
the
dis-
cement was a better,
Well, if,
the cement's gonna last probably a little bit longer than the asphalt in the
but
long
just because we
run.
have more money is not the reason to spend
Cement
it.
really holds up better in the long run.
In the long run, it does. It's just, but not near trees, and the unfortunate, there's six
old
trees.
trees, yeah.
6 trees that they gotta go around.
And when it breaks, it's a tripping hazard, and that whole, it's an elderly population all down
Well,
the room.
the asphalt will break too. It's
Yeah.
just replaceable.
It's
Right.
easy
If
to
there's a
cut it
tree,
and-
if
It's
the tree
quick.
grows, it will break the
And
asphalt
it's
as well.
shallower, right? It's the asphalt is a little shallower, so
Well,
it's
it's
less
still gonna
damage
be, no,
to
the
the trees.
asphalt, all said and done, will be 4 inches as well. I mean, the concrete will be 4 inches finished product
Okay.
in concrete, but to do the asphalt and do it right, they should do like a 2 inches of base, and some do 1.5 inches of top, some do 2 inches, depends on what the spec and I mean, if it's something that the board wants changed, I mean, it's not done, cause it was in there, it was bid.
What is
We
the,
haven't signed a contract yet for anything?
Well, the
Well,
contracts are,
they've awarded the bid.
yeah.
So, no, the contract itself hasn't really basically, the contract documents are being made, but essentially you've awarded the bid. Now, that doesn't mean you can't change it back. I was still under the impression we were doing asphalt. There's pros and cons to both.
it's like 6 of one, half a dozen of another.
They
So
have
let's use
different.
the less expensive 6. And also,
Well-
it's prettier. Like, I know that
Asphalt is pretty?
Yeah,
Oh.
in the color range, right? It keeps it a quiet small street rather than big blocky white clunky concrete. And it's more expensive.
It also heats up, so when you're walking, it's heating up the trees and it's heating up dog paws when you walk on that street. Now, the street mostly has been, in the past, has been the cement
Not down there, that's all
Mm-mm,
asphalt.
it's all asphalt.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's all asphalt down there.
Right in front of like
All the way.
Eugene, did you,
The only places that are cement now where we
Like the
had Moody
flash-
Street done were the approaches to
Okay.
Pine Street.
Right, those
and
approaches were
Fulton.
changed to
They-
be
for
handicapped
handicap.
accessible in a previous grant.
Those were done in concrete back when Moody Street was
yeah.
done.
So what's your recommendation, Tom?
Like I said, it's,
Go ahead. No.
I mean, I like asphalt, I'm fine with the asphalt, and that's why, I mean, it's a lot easier to repair if we have
Okay.
to repair it.
Well, can we follow up then and just see
that gonna
why
script-
the,
Go
why the
ahead.
change was made? And that the preference is asphalt?
Yeah, I think we just gotta check with
Okay.
Alex.
And will that screw up your schedule?
I don't think it will. I mean, they still gotta tear it out either way and gravel, change,
Okay.
because the sidewalks are going, most of them are 4 foot and they're going to 5 foot.
Yeah. Again, people who do a lot of walking would rather be on asphalt than concrete. It's better, it's
And a
not
lot of
as-
the
Yeah.
people actually I talked to on Highland Ave were happy when they heard we were going to asphalt. and
Okay,
then-
all right, say
Me
no
too,
more.
I've heard, I
Okay,
had several people contact me.
Yeah, there's pros and cons. I mean,
Okay.
when asphalt starts to break up, it breaks up when you're shoveling it. Concrete doesn't. So it can become messy in the winter, but
it all degrades at some point,
but
20
the
years
cement
from now.
doesn't degrade.
Yeah, how long
like
has the
that.
asphalt been there for now? But it's just,
I'm
Not
just
in good
looking at my
shape.
driveway
It's just all
over
over
10
the
years.
place.
Yeah.
Okay, so can we move on
Yeah.
from the asphalt? You and Andrea will follow up as needed? Okay. And everybody's clear on the asphalt versus the concrete? Okay.
And the sewer
What
project.
what
is-
else on Highland
The sewer
Ave?
project's coming along. There was just, it's back on now, but, they're arguing up there, but the water broke again.
Water was out today.
Yeah.
But it was not caused by the contractor working, but they're trying to say it was, but it was a separate line that broke, and they were over here, and the line was over here, so.
Oh, okay.
I went over and saw it, and
They were in the vicinity.
correct,
you're
and it's
saying.
old line, it's
Yeah.
old line, it's like anything we dealt with up through, there was a homeowner line they had to replace when we were there. It's all corroded, everything's old, antiquated, and you get
The
the vibration of the
vibration.
equipment.
Yeah, I
and-
can feel the vibration
yeah.
in my
Well,
backyard.
they hit ledge
They
too,
hit ledge.
unfortunately, they hit ledge on
Yeah.
Aldrich Street, so they've been,
Hammering.
for 2 days.
Yeah.
So they're out of the ledge again, and they're up, they actually got into Highland Ave today, they're
Okay.
across Highland Ave.
Yeah.
So now they're gonna start doing the lateral off of Highland, so I think they've had it open at night, but the road should be, I had a couple of concerns from most of the neighbors down there, cause they've been parking their car and walking. And the letter stated it was only gonna be 2 days, so I spoke with the contractor and they were gonna go door to door today and explain what was going on, and
Okay,
a couple of
good.
people understood. I said they hit ledge, so unfortunately, I know they said 2 days, but when you hit problems like that, it definitely adds to the job, so. It was an unforeseen,
I didn't realize we had ledge in that area, so.
they
Yeah.
thought it was deeper. This came right
Yeah.
up, they had like 4 feet to take out, right where a
Yeah.
manhole had to go, of course, too.
Of course. Okay.
And then they finally got out of it about 10 feet after this morning, and then they weren't even anywhere, they had crossed one of the water lines today, and they were just starting to dig over for the second one, because there's 2 side by side, and they weren't even 2 feet in the ground, and the water came blowing out of the ground, so they immediately called, they were nowhere near where the break was, but
Okay.
they were very good, they dug it up, Mount Herman was there, and I know I stopped by around 4:30, they were turning it back on, so.
Yep.
But they need to also come back because it's not right. And there's also another leak down the road further already too.
Yeah, they're just so
That
ancient
started,
and
Yeah.
decrepit.
right, it just started that, well, they had that big water main break,
Yep.
last Wednesday morning,
Yeah.
Thursday morning, Wednesday morning. And that's what happens when you have, that one was a big one, that was a 12-inch water main.
Yeah.
So they drain the whole system, and then when you recharge the
And
system,
You're
repressurize.
gonna
Yeah.
get more.
you get air pockets. If you don't get all the air out, you find every weak spot there is.
Yeah.
Things are working fine until you depressurize, and then when you repressure, because the water's going through, but the minute you repressurize, all of a sudden,
All the weak spots.
all
Like
the
the water
pressure
hammer
hits.
and it pops.
Right,
Right.
it's all
Yeah,
new,
it's like an
new pressure.
aneurysm.
And
Okay.
So,
And they're-
I mean,
Not
Highland Ave's
unusual.
moving along, I mean, they're doing it, I mean, honestly, they're a very good company, anything I've talked to them about or they've addressed, they're very nice people to work with.
That's good.
We're working on several things. I think we have all but one of the right of entry forms.
I actually have it in my.
You have the last one?
For 56, he was the first one to sign, but he got buried on his kitchen table.
Okay.
Oops.
No,
So
if
I
can
do
get it-
have it in my truck.
Yeah, let me get it, because I scan them and send them to PennDOT, and they want to have them, so I sent
I
them.
told Alex yesterday that I had
Okay,
it.
so we'll send
Okay.
it to him, and that's
Yeah.
everybody then, they all
Yeah.
returned them. But did you talk to Isaac today about,
Not today, I haven't talked to
he
him
has
today.
a stone wall issue that he needs to talk to you about?
Up the street.
Yeah.
But I thought they were gonna hook on in front of the wall.
I don't know,
I
so-
think they dug and said the line is deep enough that they can make it go to the new line.
But I think I told him to talk to you about where the road and right of way is, so that they can.
That was another deal that
Yeah.
there's paperwork here, actually. That was done between the town's lawyer and the previous owner's lawyer.
Yep.
They moved the stone wall ahead, and it's on we own another 10 feet beyond
Yeah.
the stone wall.
So anyway, if that changed, I talked to him probably 10 o'clock this morning, so maybe they.
Yeah, I know he's been tied up on other people saw there was a sewer break too as well on
They've been
Moody
working on
Street.
that for a few days, yeah.
So I have one more question regarding that sewer line down there. So I know Bernie also is on are you still on the sewer commission?
Yeah, we both are.
Okay, so there was, for Conscom, they came before us last year because there were some potholes, what are they called, manholes? Manholes that were underwater. And that was putting extra burden on the sewer, and it was along this line. Are they handling that now? Are they doing that also?
I think that's out in the swamp off the
That's
other
Dickinson.
part. No, it's out
Oh.
behind
No,
Aldrich
it's-
Street.
It's this same line,
It's
is why I'm
it's
asking.
the main line down at the very end. I think they're just, right now, there was a beaver problem in
Yep.
there. And the beavers, there's no activity. So I know the last time I was down the end of Aldridge, the manholes are exposed, they're not underwater.
Okay.
But I don't know if anybody trapped I don't know anything about it because they're on private property, so there was
Well-
nothing to do. But I know Isaac was looking at what could be done because it was getting into the sewer manholes. That was one of the
Yeah, Isaac
concerns.
took care of it, but I was since they are down in that same
And
area.
as dry as it is right now, that swamp is really low anyway.
Right.
So maybe the beavers moved on due to the fact that it's been so
No,
dry.
they didn't.
You can only hope.
Okay, anything else on Highland, and what do you think the approximate time frame is moving forward?
For Highland,
Yeah, I mean, because
if
you've
they
got a
don't
few
hit any
things.
more rock or anything,
Right.
I think they were hoping to have, I'm gonna say probably by the end of next week, they'll have the lines in. They won't
Okay.
probably have the residents all hooked in, but I would think they would have the main line pretty much in. They move right along
Yep,
when there's no ledge or anything in
Right.
their way.
right.
Yeah, I mean, on the schedule, because I have the construction schedule, and I don't know, there may be a couple of days off now, but they wanted the sewer main and manhole install to be from like the 22nd to the 26th.
Oh,
So
yeah, I think that's,
that's still on. So
Yeah.
then they'll do the main, and then they're going to do it again the next week, main manhole and trench patch ending October 3rd, getting the services on October 10th, switched over, and then starting to do loan restoration somewhere between the 13th and the 17th, and then finishing up somewhere around October 20th to 24th.
but I think they're actually ahead.
Yeah.
Because they were going right along till they hit the
Yeah.
ledge.
So there's,
Okay.
before the end of October,
Yeah.
this will be.
Okay. And just for those at home, when there are emergencies, it's posted on the front page. And what people may want to do is use the @notification, the code red, to sign up for,
Well, you can get that, you go on
You
the
can get an
website and
email,
get the
yeah.
notifications for emergencies on the website.
right. So whenever it gets posted, you can get an email that indicates there's been a problem.
Right, they've been
Yeah.
calling us when it's broke and then when it's fixed.
Yeah. I'm
I
just,
have one more question before
Yep.
we go.
well, we're going to move on to
On the sidewalk,
yeah.
you said that it was moving from 4 feet to 5 feet. Why was that?
I think that's a
That's
ADA.
code.
It's now ADA, I see.
Yeah, yeah.
But they can narrow it down, he did, because we talked about that yesterday, because there's a couple
Trees.
spots with the trees that you'd have to come up almost a foot or better on the root of the tree. But they have a procedure they're supposed to be doing, that's in the bids, some air roots, or I don't know. I've never seen it done, so I couldn't tell you what it is. But Alex did say yesterday that if the trees and the telephone poles are a problem, they can narrow them up to the 4 feet there and then come back
Okay.
to 5 after they get by the problem. But they can't go any smaller than 4.
Right, which is what it is
And
currently.
they were hoping to keep the consistent 5 is what they're hoping.
Right.
I think some of the trees are far enough back, but I know there's 2 down on the end where we were working. We went up and measured them in order to get 5, and that's touching the telephone pole and touching the tree. We were up a good foot from where the sidewalk is now.
Yeah.
And there are a couple of people who, because I spoke to people who were
Yeah.
asking me about it, they're concerned that their cars are bottoming out, and so they want, coming out of their driveway.
Yeah.
So they wanted to make sure, are you guys gonna, is the highway department gonna come?
No, that's part of the sidewalk. They're gonna redo the front part and then back to the end, from what I understand, what Alex was saying, back to the end of our easement in there. Wherever they cut in, if somebody's driveway's blacktop now, they're gonna cut and put a joint back at our
Okay.
easement. But I think they're supposed to make them as gradual as they can.
If they can, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Good. Much better than MassDOT on Main Street, I'm sure.
Yes.
Try going into my driveway. The Linden Ave next steps, do you guys want to summarize that quickly?
Yeah, you
Or
guys
as
wanna
quickly as
summarize the
possible.
meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we went out, Andrea was there, and Tom, and Cody, and I, and another
David.
gentleman, and David. And we toured the situation, we discussed whether the road was town road or personal, and we talked about, there are a couple of potholes and there's a washout area, so there are a couple of different things to do. Whether the people who are owners bring in the gravel themselves versus whether we go in and bring in gravel, and whether we as the town fix the culvert. One of the questions that I had, which it didn't occur to me there at the time, is that once we do work as a town on the road, it feels like that sets a precedent that then that's a town road that we're responsible, that we're taking over. And so I think it would be a good idea to make sure we have a legal knowledge of whether it's a town road or not a town road. And if we are still going to help with the drainage, we could have a signature which said, this isn't a town road, but we're helping, because I think that we just want to be careful not to set a precedent that then continues down the road to be a very expensive thing, unless that's what we intend. So,
Well, based on the history of the work that was done in the research, you go back to that definitive vote, and it says Linden Ave from the northerly end to the southerly end. And you move forward, doesn't define what that is.
what the end is.
You move forward, and there's several meetings over this through the select boards and the timeline. They officially took a vote that it meant everything. That vote, then there's been a survey that took that, and they relied on that. So the question is, I think at this point, if you want to unvote that, I think.
Oh, no, I just wanted to.
But I think that, I think that the town is going to be told they'd have to discontinue that section. Because I think you don't, I think it's, I don't know about your feeling, but I think based on the research I have, that there's at least 3 indications that that's town road. And if you want to negate that, I think you're going to have to do something more official.
Oh, okay.
Because based on
That was
that
my
vote at town
understanding.
meeting, based on the vote from the
What I
select
was
board
concerned about
the layouts.
knowing, sorry to overspeak, what I was concerned about was that's a small enough road that if you truly wanted to make it a road, you would have to do some significant
And that's
work
what
to
we
it,
discussed that at the
which
meeting.
would disrupt the ridge as they know it. So it's
Right.
kind of like careful what you wish for. It's a public road, but we're going to have to widen it in order to get the
And cut
equipment
a
down
ton
there.
of trees.
Right. So that's not going to go
They
over
became
well.
pretty clear that they didn't want
They don't
that.
want
They don't.
Okay,
So
so I just
all
want to
that-
make sure that
They
that's
were-
clear.
They
Yeah.
were willing with the idea of bringing up some gravel, filling in a couple of places that that gravel could be used. There was the one washout area that has a,
Talking about putting a pipe in.
right, I did get an email from
The other
Carol.
citizen.
Carol Ziegenhagen, and she has spoken with the owner who is considering the drain. Because the problem with the washout area is that they go over and they just kind of make a cut in the road and the water washes down the hill, across the road and out onto her land. And the woman's fine with that. But if you want to put gravel in to stop that washout, you're going to have to put something under, because otherwise the gravel's just now going to wash into her property. You can't put gravel on a washout area and not expect the gravel to wash out. So the resident, and that was, and to deal with your concern, I said, you really do need a drainage easement to do this, because you do not need to put in a drain and then have them say, no. I mean, it's already draining there, it's pretty clear it's draining there, and that's fine, but if you're gonna put in some drainage to help that situation, the town really does need to protect itself by getting some kind of legal documentation to say, hey, we'll put this in. It's not a
And we discussed that
huge-
at the meeting.
Right, it's not a huge drain, and it's a project, but it's
right.
not like you're putting in a culvert.
Yeah.
It's not like Highland Ave or
No, and I think
Okay.
Tom was like, okay, we can bring in some gravel,
And
but,
I mean, and that, because that's my other concern with the lady I met with today. Her house is right next, it's the lower house, and she got washed out the other day again. And that water that I discussed with her today ends up down where we were.
Oh.
And so
okay.
that it's, I mean, and
So you've
that, so
got
it's a huge problem. It comes from
Yeah.
3 or 4 ridges up, down, and
right.
this
so
is like the 3rd or 4th time she's gotten, she had a bunch of work done and put ditches around her house, but it overwhelmed the ditches.
So
And she's concerned because it hasn't, but the other concern is people, and it's nothing the town or anybody has control of. People have cleared some of their land up above, or they've gone and redone their lawn a different way, or sloped their, so it's definitely contributed to people down below, unfortunately, and this one cabin is very low. And she's lower than everybody, and everything from even the Ziegenhagens and this other all go to hers. And then it's got to run down to right where we were standing. So I don't, if there wasn't a culvert in there and all this water happened again, anything that we were to do now
It has to
is going to be
back-
over the bank.
Right,
Oh,
but it
gotcha.
has to also back up pretty far before it overwhelms the road. By putting
Right.
in maybe some drainage there, you take more lower. That might help the water from backing up. So anyway, that's a project
So
I'm working, but we don't have permission yet to
Can
do
we-
that.
Can we
So-
just summarize in an email though, because we have 20 years worth of documentation? Can we
think it's a
just
good idea.
add that one more piece of documentation on top of it that says, yes, we looked at it.
So her email to
Yeah.
us, to me,
Okay, summarized.
thank you for meeting with us.
Yeah.
Hopefully our suggestions and agreements will be passed on to the select board, as they are. We understand that the town agreed that they would repair those sections, I think we're talking gravel.
Gravel.
And put gravel in those sections of road, maybe that means over time if they wear down again, maintaining those. But the residents on the road will be responsible for private plowing, because he said, I don't have a truck that can
Yeah.
plow your road. So they're like, well,
Without
if you
putting
fill the
more, yeah.
holes, we'll get it plowed. So that's what she's saying, she's putting it in.
Okay.
She understands that it's up to the select board to agree to this, and that she spoke with the abutter, the neighbor who would have the drainage, and that she's considering having the drain onto her property. Carol explained to her that the culvert would be placed under the road midway between her driveway and the Colette property at the location of the present drainage and pothole. And so I emailed her back and said, okay, I'll pass this on,
Right.
and I'm waiting to hear from you. She wanted to reach out to the neighbor. She thought that would get her offered,
Yep.
but she said, let me reach out to her.
Okay.
So
So
we're
we're
waiting to hear
waiting on
back on
that.
that piece
Okay.
of it. But I think they were happy with the idea that if, he puts in some gravel, at least, especially in the one in the beginning, which is sort of a
Quite
low
a dip. Yeah.
that they would be happy with that. find
So
out.
we're not going to take another step until the neighbor
Certainly not on the
determines?
drainage piece.
Right,
But
okay.
when you have some extra time, you can go fill in the.
Well, the
Some rock.
drainage should be put in, or you're gonna lose whatever I put in.
I think you can, I don't know what you can
Those
put much in the
holes?
second hole, but the first
It'll just
one-
wash away because it's not, it's gonna pond.
Yeah.
So if there's no culvert there, it's gonna go over
No
the top
point.
again.
I think the
Yeah.
So I
first
don't
one
wanna
is all you
wait,
can do.
I don't wanna waste the gravel. is what
I
I'm
hear
saying.
you.
The second one, I think you can't really do yet, but the first one, you know, you might be able to get that smoothed out a little, but that second one, we're gonna have to wait.
Can I clarify something? I'm not sure I understood from what you said. Is you said that further up the hill is still, no matter what we do here, further up the hill is still gonna wash it out? Is that what
The
you said?
water's draining
The
down.
water's gotta come down.
Yeah, I mean, I know the water's
Yeah.
draining out. I just mean, there's a specific, you're seeing a specific problem and you've seen it multiple times.
Oh, multiple times. With rain
Okay.
like we had, yeah, it's.
So do
They
we
said
need
they
to-
we touched base on the culvert out behind the other people's house on the private road that plugged up and which brought water down
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
there.
yep.
They said that one didn't plug in the rain the other day, but a serious amount of water because the leaves were all still washed when I went up there. So you
yeah.
can see it came down that road as well, which is a private ridge road.
Yeah,
And then it came down off of Carlton Ave, the top of Carlton Ave, which is, it's actually up further, and then it ran down Carlton Ave, and then it goes into this lady's yard.
so is there something else that, like big picture, something else that we need to do?
There's no way to control it, because I don't know where it's coming from.
Okay.
And it's coming off of private property, basically, but then it comes onto our property.
And as we know, water always wins out.
Right.
So- Okay, but can we just summarize back to the Ziegenhagens that what our understanding is, so that we're not going to be putting gravel, for example, in a spot that's going to get washed out without the neighbor
So we have all the consent.
agreeing
so
to the
Correct.
consenting to,
So the idea is we
Yeah.
fill that first hole, the one, and that, but we're holding off on the second one where there is the
Yeah.
drainage concern until we decide what's
Yep.
happening at Crane.
yep, and then acknowledge from her email
Yes.
what we're agreeing to. That would be helpful. And then if need be, we can summarize it and sign it at a future meeting, if that would help kind of put the bow on top of the thick folder. Okay, I think we're good. And it's almost 7 and we still have to get through the rest of the
It's
agenda.
a
so-
poll, what about the poll here?
He's
now?
been,
We're all
I took
done.
care of that.
Armin's
That's
on.
all that?
Yeah.
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 That was
Nobody
my-
could, nobody could.
Oh,
complain.
okay,
I have
Bernie
one
did have
question
one
for you.
question,
Did
yeah.
they come to you for the dig safe on that when they do, before they
Uh,
put the pole? Who do they go
They,
to?
they don't always contact me, no.
Okay.
They usually contact whoever buys into DigSafe. So like if the sewer, I'm not sure if the sewer, I think we used to do our own.
Yeah,
Um,
I just was worried they're gonna put a pole too close to a sewer line.
There's no sewer up,
And
that was at
yeah.
Ed Snow's, correct?
yeah,
That was with the-
98,
Yeah, there's
yeah.
no sewer or water there.
Okay, so that's
Um,
not an issue then?
No, it's
Okay,
not an
good.
issue there.
Okay,
No,
great.
No, but you do, I mean, it's one thing that at the pole hearings, because that's what happened on Moody Street. The pole actually got put, when it was put in, it went through the sewer line. So, and the reason it never surfaced to now, because the schools hadn't been using that house. Those poles got put in about 5 years ago.
Oh, okay, that's why.
And nobody could figure out
Oh.
why all of a sudden it was acting up. Well, they just recently opened that.
Is it the old bookstore one? Like
No,
over in that?
the next.
Moore
Okay.
Cottage.
Oh,
Moore
okay.
Cottage, and then they
Oh,
also
okay.
actually found out which nobody ever knew, where it went, the little Betsy Moody on
Yeah.
that ties in right there.
Mhm.
So I don't know if they were getting billed, but that's what happened there, is when they put the poles in,
Oh.
nobody knew because there hadn't been use.
Right.
And then the other day, why it actually surfaced, it's been leaking for a while there. But
But nobody
after the
noticed.
water main break, 2 of the toilets floats got stuck while the people weren't home. So it added the addition
Water
of the
was
water, which
through the
finally
sewer.
made it surface, and that's why this all came about.
Oh,
there's
my
a running
God.
plan that
What
literally
a
set it off.
cascade of events. Good gravy. You can't make this
No.
bleep up.
All
Okay.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, appreciate it.
I feel like I've had my bedtime story or something, you know what I mean? Like,
Could we move them up since
Yeah.
we've been waiting for so long?
yeah, that was what I was gonna do, yeah. Joanne, would you like to come up and talk about, we can do the Ames property, we're gonna sign that deed? Did you have anything that you wanted to say, or do you wanna just celebrate this moment?
Well, I think celebrate the moment. and
Yeah,
look at
yeah.
all the work everybody did,
Yeah,
talking to the lawyers back and forth and getting
Yeah.
it settled. And I know that Nancy Ames will be very pleased.
the day is here,
Yes.
Yeah.
And we'll be going to the Conservation Commission next week.
correct, correct.
Thank you all for working on that.
Well, thank you. So I would entertain a motion to sign the approval of acceptance of deed for the Ames property, Old Wendell Road, as voted upon at the annual town meeting in May of 2025.
Ooh, so moved.
Yay,
Second.
excellent. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so we will,
Thank you to the
Well,
Ameses.
thank you very much.
and a big thank you to,
Thank
and
you,
hello to
Joanne.
Nancy.
Yes, yeah.
She's-
And to Mount Grace, it was working with Andre and
Seth,
lawyers to get that.
Oh,
Yes,
great, to Mount Grace too, yeah,
He's bringing
thank
me
you.
the originals.
What?
He's bringing me the originals.
Oh, yeah, oh, good.
Yeah, we have a copy I had him send me, but he'll bring me the original. And then when I have them all signed, I send them to the lawyer and they'll file it with the registry.
Thank you so much.
Yay. Thank you, Joanne.
Nice to have a
Thank you,
successful
Bill.
project.
Yeah, yeah, okay. And it's this one,
The
That-
one that has the
Quick
select
claim.
board, right?
yep,
As long as it's select board, not conservation commission, you're good.
yeah, well,
And Amanda will
double
do the-
check your names.
Amanda will do the bottom tomorrow.
Okay, do you want to sign it? There.
Why am I always last? I'm not alphabetically last.
I think
I
it's
think
just
it
the way
varies.
It on different documents.
Yeah.
It's moved on. We didn't even create this, the
Usually
lawyer
I'm
did.
last.
It's an order of favorites. I'm second.
Apparently, you're the lawyer's second favorite, Bernie.
Okay. Oh. Is this one all done? We did all of these.
You just have to sign that.
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
Look at the bottom there.
Oh, it looks like it's in a new spot. Okay. Okay.
I go this way.
Alrighty. Yep, we're good. Okay.
You're hooked, don't go.
Thank you. Okay, let's do something easy. Can I get a motion to approve the September 3rd, 2025 payroll warrant of $86,291.31?
So moved.
Second.
Sorry.
You got it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And can I get a motion for the September 3rd vendor warrant of $92,731.23?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then at your
Minutes.
I just wanted to make sure on the minutes, we captured the,
Change.
Edits. There's a couple of them. There's a red one on the back page.
yeah.
A time,
Sandra actually double checked herself and found a,
and a couple of minor wording changes.
yeah, I just wanted to make sure that we captured the Zegan Hagen's names correctly. So that's what the blue is.
Really? There's no Ziegenhagen on the blue. It says Roll and Lamas and Carol.
This was on, the original was Joanne instead of Carol. So this is the amendment.
That's her name. Okay.
This is the correction, this was what was on there. So the cross out is what we're crossing out from the draft that went out.
Got it.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the August 29th, 2025 minutes as,
19th.
why does it say?
August 19th? Wasn't that the one we're doing?
Yeah, that says 19th, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
19th.
Sandra,
19th.
19.
can I get, uh-oh, busted.
And both of those are the 19th, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. Can I get a motion to approve the August 19th, 2025 minutes as amended?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Great. And can I get a motion to approve the July 29th, 2025 executive session minutes?
So moved.
Second.
And I think this is the one that I was absent for.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep,
So I'm going to abstain.
I'm gonna abstain too, I wasn't there. that
correct. It
night.
was the three of us.
Yep.
So I vote yes.
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 Okay, 3 yeses and 2 abstentions. We're all set on that. Okay, and we did the sign and approval of the acceptance of deed. And we're going to move on to the lovely and necessary loaves and fishes. Can I get a motion to approve the reimbursement request of $2,800 for the funding request approved by the trust fund committee? These were for gift cards and for food and gas and medical for somebody.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye, great. And we were notified that the House bill, moving on to the next topic, the letter of support, that the House Bill 4236, an act authorizing Northfield to continue the employment of Floyd Donnell III, is coming up. The hearing is tomorrow at 1. And it's both virtual and we can submit written testimony, and I'm signed up for virtual testimony. And so I just wanted to point out that this letter outlines, after a discussion with Skip yesterday, Andre and I sat down and went not only through the letter and where we were in the legislative process, but also outlining, this basically outlines the transition priorities that Skip is working on. And I outlined them in this way because of the concerns that were raised by the Retirement Board and the Public Service Committee last year. So this should explain and support this additional extension for Skip. And the firefighters have drafted and submitted their own letter as well.
And as part of that, it references the work which we talked with Skip, and he's been amenable all along to
Right.
getting a consultant to do that operational work, which is what she references in the letter. So what you
Right.
have there is a document
Right.
that Skip has reviewed and agreed upon to work with a consultant,
But
finally
the
get the work done.
community compact grant, which we had all voted and to apply for, they have fewer funds this year.
They didn't
so-
fund it.
Yeah.
Well, the governor did, so we all relied on the fact that the program would exist, but then in July, the state failed to do that, the Senate, the legislature.
Yep.
But the Finance Committee has graciously agreed to fund this project at their meeting last night.
And what's the cost?
Did you check into the other reserve fund?
That's a different.
Oh, okay, okay.
That has nothing to do with that.
Oh.
Well, we got a couple of quotes. One is half of the other, so 12,500 is the outside number. There's a range between 9,000. Oh, the other one was 28. So we obviously weren't going that route.
Wow.
Yep, and this was the same ballpark from the UMass Collins Center as well, about a year ago. So this is like our third,
That's an astonishing amount of money.
well, he's,
It's going to be several weeks worth of work for someone.
yep, yep. So in the Finance Committee, because I sat in on that meeting last night, so the Finance Committee discussed that as well and approved the funds for that. So we're all set to go, and the next step would be to have Skip meet with, the person's name is Russ Anderson. He's a former fire chief for both Granby and Southwick. He's retired and solely focuses on fire stations as well, and fire departments as well as EMS, because most of the fire situations
both.
he's been in have been both. So he can talk about emergency management as well as EMS and fire. The focus here will be documenting everything for SCIP and the fire department. Especially, and what we noted in this letter for the legislative hearing is the fire department has a very successful recruitment and training program. And I think Northfield Fire is really bucking the trends of many volunteer fire departments. So I'll be mentioning, these are some of the highlights that I'll be mentioning to the legislative committee tomorrow. Any questions or comments?
How much money does the finance committee have in that fund that they're pulling this from?
55,000 is the reserve fund appropriation each year.
Okay.
But depending on what we're sitting at, they may, at the special, come back to refill this because it's early in the year from free cash. So they'll be discussing that at their, and the upcoming warrant articles going forward, waiting to see how everything plays out.
Okay.
And the reason why we're looking at the reserve fund now is because this is something we need to get done this fall, because really the year,
Right, goes away. Yep.
right, and then we're into the new budget season. So if there's anything new coming out of this from a budgetary standpoint, we want to know that before we get into January.
If we wait till November, we're
Yep.
now into winter, passed into the winter before this would be done, and now we're really bucking up against the time frame that Skip will be wrapping
Yeah.
things up.
So if everything's okay with you, I'd entertain a motion to approve and sign the letter of support for the legislative hearing submission on the fire chief extension, specifically for House Bill 4236.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Big thank you to
And we need to
Skip.
sign it, right? The
Yep.
back?
Sign one of them anyway.
Yep. And if you can just hold on to your copy, because what we'll do is have Skip and come back and talk about these probably in October, once he's further along with the building committee. Because right now he's in the middle of working on something with Barry Bordner. Okay, select board schedule, fun stuff. Do I need to sign this, the loaves and fishes?
I don't think so.
As long as we make a motion, right?
I think as long as you
Yeah,
vote
'cause
it, you're
there's-
good.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Does everybody have their calendars?
So this
Can you
is a
pass that
draft
over?
of
Thanks.
this is a draft of the entire budget calendar. So it includes several things that the select board obviously have as part of your account, as part of the oncoming fall and vacation season.
Oncoming or upcoming?
Upcoming.
Sometimes it feels
Depends
like-
on how you feel, you
Yeah.
look at it. And the 30th is your next meeting. It puts you back on
Every 2 weeks?
your regular schedule to meeting up with the warrants, yes. So you would meet again on the 14th. Would be your normal meeting date, the 28th.
I want to actually state for the record, I mean, we're into September. I think it's ridiculous that we've only been meeting every 3 weeks. In the past, we had been having 4-hour meetings every 2 weeks, and now we're getting out in an hour and a half and a meeting every 3 weeks. Although it's nice to be done, where's that work going? And I think that we should be meeting every 2 weeks. So that's just my statement.
Yeah, so the time for that statement would have been back in May when we were actually looking at the summer schedule. And I'll
I
just.
did make it, and you said it was already decided, and so that's why I'm making it
Yeah,
now.
because
we're redoing.
Well,
we're now doing
no,
the
we're not.
schedule.
We're not
so now
redoing
that's why I'm talking about it now, because we're talking about the schedule, and it's on the agenda. So I am also talking about the schedule.
Well,
Duly noted, And I'm also talking about the schedule as well, which is to say we look at the summer schedule in May and there were no issues with the summer schedule. Now we're talking about the fall and winter schedule and also the budgetary and the town meetings, which is a little bit more involved. So yeah, we're back on the 2-week. And if we want to work through the holidays and summer, then we'll deal with that.
Part of the issue is that we need to get the select board meeting days on the same day as the warrants. Because otherwise, select board members have to come in and off warrant weeks,
Right.
which many of you have been willing to do over the summer, which your employees graciously appreciate getting paid, and the vendors as well. But it's always a try to get back on the schedule, because that way that we know for sure that things are getting signed on Tuesday, so that they can process on Wednesday and everybody gets paid on Thursday and the bills go
Right.
out on Thursday. So that's part of the obstacle of putting together the schedule, is trying to minimize that disruption. So
And also, we need to vote on we should be voting on it before we sign it, so that's part of the scheduling as well.
well, it comes up.
Warrants, we should be voting on the warrants before we
Right,
sign
so
it.
they come to you the same night that. and
Right,
they're
no,
on
I'm
your
just
agenda.
saying it's one of the
yeah.
scheduling things.
So that's what we're trying to do. So when we look at the schedule, we have to go
Yeah.
around holidays, and then we
Just-
have to try to fit it back onto
Okay,
that.
so we're talking about the schedule. Let's move forward and look at
So then-
October. Right, so the next meeting is September 30th, and then from there, I can't even believe it, then we're into October. So what we've got here is also where we overlap with the Finance Committee, because before we know it, the budget deadlines will be coming up.
Right, the
So-
Finance Committee met last night, and they're meeting again now regularly.
I think I think October, I'm just going to say this out loud, and if you don't agree, that's fine. I just want to keep this discussion moving. I think October looks okay. November is a little bit more up in the air because we have extra things to do this year. And if I remember correctly, this is where we run into Thanksgiving week.
Well, Thanksgiving week is okay. Your
Okay.
problem, if you get back on the warrant schedule, October 14th and 28th is fine.
But October 14th is not on this budget calendar.
No, it's not on the budget calendar. The budget
Okay.
calendar is not your meeting schedule. But just so you know, 14th, the select board schedule would normally go back to the
Right,
14th.
14th and the 28th.
The 28th, that's all well and good until November 11th, which is Veterans Day.
Right.
So something's going to have to be done with that meeting regardless. But putting that aside for a moment, then the 25th, which is the week of Thanksgiving, but it's Tuesday, so unless you guys want to change the whole week, which really lines you up well for December, the 9th, the 23rd, the 6th, the 20th of January, you don't get off schedule at all, except for that Veterans Day meeting, if you decide that schedule.
Do we just move in the past, don't we just move it to Wednesday?
You've got lots of options.
On
The
the
question
Veterans Day?
becomes, normally last year that was the day of your fall town meeting.
And
The
November
second-
12th is listed right now as the day of the fall
It's a
town
question
meeting.
mark.
What's the date we got tentative for the fall meeting?
Tentatively the 12th. It's tentative because.
And we have to do something right before the fall town meeting.
Well,
though.
there's a discussion about the 6-town regional agreement special town meeting. And that's another discussion that's happening in concert. They're trying to organize a town meeting that's taking place in 6 towns all at the same time for that vote, so that no one town is voting before another, so that it doesn't influence, so everybody goes to their town meeting and they get to decide it for their town, rather than know what another town has done or not done.
Thursday, we might have a better handle on that because we're meeting with the 3 town committees.
Right.
So the other 2 towns would be in there
Bernardston,
and they could voice when they could have their special town meeting. Again, the 6-town meeting wants to have the special town meeting on the same day.
on the
So-
Saturday, the 8th, and then if we're going to have a fall town meeting the next week, I think that's,
It's actually, Montague has put forward that they voted the 15th
for the,
for the special. So they're asking everybody to consider Saturday the 15th. Leiden and Bernardston, I've been in contact with the town administrators, and they have taken
Oh, I
it to
see, you
their
have a
various
question mark.
boards. And they were saying 8th or 15th, and they were checking with their boards, and they've just now been coming back, because they're all just starting to meet, with that board saying, yeah, that's fine, we can do either day. So now it's coming to you guys, but Montague sent an email out today saying their board has voted the 15th. So now it's in your hands to say, oh, we're on board with that, or...
Well, I
I don't
think,
like it the
again,
same
that
week.
discussion will probably be on Thursday, that if they have chimed in on that, then the other the other two towns besides ourselves would probably,
They had already said the 15th was okay with them, so they may be leaning that way too. I can't speak for them.
Right, and
Yeah.
we need to, like, we should think about what we think first.
And I did
Correct.
talk with Nate for the meeting.
Yeah.
We had some discussion about whether or not it makes sense to try and have the two meetings together and make it a little bit longer, or whether
Infinitely
to
long.
split the two meetings. I mean, that's really a decision. You guys get to decide whether you do one warrant or two warrants, but just something to keep in mind. But if the 15th becomes the meeting date, then you have to start to think about, we do have things for a fall town meeting.
And,
So-
well, if we were to do that, I would vote for the Northfield stuff to all be first. We can pop that 6-town regional at the end, but we need to prioritize the points of order, the points of business for the town.
Well, the 6-town agreement does affect the town.
Well, it'll eventually affect the town, but that's just my vote,
Yeah.
that we prioritize
So
the
you guys just
town
decide.
stuff.
Okay, and I'm just going to note for the folks at home too, is we're talking about a Saturday schedule, and that's not different for Leiden and for Bernardston, so they're comfortable doing, and that's part of their tradition is lately has been doing Saturdays. Northfield, on the other hand, has always done it during the week. So I just want to point out that this would be different. Some of the feedback that I heard was that it might make more sense for families, that Saturday would be easier.
I think so,
Yeah, so do you guys feel like the 15th is shaping up? When
I think that discussion will be happening on Thursday, and I think they'll probably be in agreement with that. Because they want to
Okay.
have it all the same day for the specific reason, if you don't want to have one doing it the day before or the day after, already knowing what the other 2 or 3 towns have done, you want to have it all the same day.
Right.
So are they gonna try to dictate the time, the clock time as well?
I'm not sure that has come up yet, but that if it's on a Saturday, then they would have to all agree that it would be,
10 o'clock or 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm sure that
yeah.
that could
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
be.
You'd want to have it
Because if
the
you hold
same
it
time,
simultaneously, you need to do
same
it
time, same day.
So
Well,
are we talking about moving our fall meeting to the 15th too?
That's a discussion that has to also happen.
that's what we're actually talking
Yeah,
about.
that
yeah.
hasn't been,
The-
it's a possibility, but it has not been, you have not decided.
What was,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
What was brought up in discussion as far as trying to have them both at the same time, the 6-town meeting may be a long town meeting to have a chance for everybody a chance to speak and to bring up whatever, so that it might make it a extremely long town meeting, and people might leave before we get to our discussion. So as far as holding a town meeting is not that difficult to do. You just have to make sure
Yeah.
it's advertised in time. And as far as cost-wise, if you're talking 2 to 3 hours with 4 to 5 election workers, it's not a super expensive thing to do.
Yeah.
It would be our preference. Do we want to have both at the same time, or to take care of the school business first and then at a later date, the town's business?
Or the town first, because right now we have it question marked on the 12th.
Right, I just put it there because that's where it would have fallen from last year's schedule, but it's always movable.
One thing that I, like, independent of this discussion, I really like the idea for the town of having a town meeting on the weekend. I think at night after work, people are dragging, and it's so, I think it's, if we're gonna talk and have it go on late and have people be able to speak their mind, I would
Yeah.
really love to, in general, independent of this, because
Yeah.
I actually really appreciate the idea of splitting them. In general, I like the idea of a Saturday town meeting.
Several years ago, or quite a few years ago, that came about, our discussion was brought up and was shot down by the town for some reason.
It's a bylaw change.
Yeah, so it'd have to be, so, and again, we were getting arguments from both sides as far as doing that. People go away on the weekend, they can't be there on the weekend. So it became an issue, let's leave it alone for now, but I think that a weekend or a Saturday town
resurrect
meeting
it.
is not
Some towns
a
have done
bad
it.
thing. And you just have to always make sure it's before your annual election, that's all.
Right.
So you're talking about the
Annual
town-
election
Okay.
or any.
Could we
one of them, if
consider
you're
putting
talking
it
about-
on the warrant? Could we
You'd
consider
have to have a
putting?
bylaw change, because
Yes,
it is a bylaw.
yeah.
Could we, I'm asking the select board, could we consider offering it to the town as an idea on this fall meeting warrant?
Yeah,
The
we-
idea of future Saturday meetings?
I-
Because that way they can just pick
You do it on the fall, or you want to do it at annual?
on the fall, because the fall is going to be shorter, right? The annual, it goes on and on and on and on.
So are you thinking that on your fall town meeting, wherever we decide, if we decide we do it on a normal day, and part of that town meeting would be to say, do you want to have further town meetings on a Saturday
Yes.
from 9 to noon or 9 to whenever it ends, as far as doing
You
that?
have never gone more than 2.5 hours in an annual.
I-
Yes, so
again,
that's
Yeah, again,
that
that
is
would,
what I
that
was
would
saying.
be
Okay,
probably, you know, it
let's do
doesn't
this.
really matter,
Could I just-
except if we can get more people, that would be fine.
Yeah, let's do this. I think it's a valid topic, but let's actually get through the November
Sure.
scheduling.
Sure.
And then I'm going to put the whole Saturday thing onto the agenda as a separate topic, because then we would have certain steps that we might need to take, especially for changing bylaws. I think there's a hearing that needs to go on for that.
No, not for a general bylaw.
Not for a general bylaw, but it needs to be voted on, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So it'd be good to get feedback from people on, since Northfield hasn't done it in a while, it'd be good to get feedback from people at home about how do they feel about it. I'm not opposed to it, I don't want to take up all the time
Yeah,
tonight.
because what some communities will do on a Saturday, as far as, they'll have their town meeting, but they'll also have other things going on within the building, like eating
Yeah.
food sales and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it
Kinda like
becomes
a
a
community
community,
thing. Yeah.
a community
Yeah.
thing. Is-
Come
and-
vote, we
and-
could some pizza.
We could turn it into an event, I'm sure.
Well,
I
other
do know a
towns
town that moved it to
do
Saturday and
do
moved it
this.
back. They actually got less attendance, they thought.
Oh, really?
People wanted their Saturdays.
Okay, but
It's your
let's,
community has to decide.
Yeah, I mean, and that's all
Alright.
I'm saying. I'm saying let's give
Yeah.
them a chance to
so
talk
guys,
about it.
we're closing in on 7:30, so I'm just doing a time check.
So I would vote no on the 8th for the 6-town meeting. Yes on the 15th, because that seems like that's where everybody's going, and I'm okay with that. This is
think-
just me, I'm not trying to push
Yep.
anybody. And then I would keep the fall town meeting at a regular, the way it is, not
Okay.
combined.
So hold that thought. Dan, let's just kind of do an informal
Oh,
poll.
that's a good idea.
Yeah. So now that you've laid it out that way, well done. What do you think based on what Sarah just said?
As far
And
as
then
what, the Saturday? Or-
So
or-
we're, Sarah
I'm
said
just
no.
concerned, is the Saturday 6-town meeting agreement, is that, a special town meeting? I thought that was an informational meeting that the 6 towns
You haven't
wanted to put.
gotten there yet.
Haven't gotten
You're on
there
the
yet.
special town meeting
okay.
date.
Okay,
We're just on the 8th or the 15th, and it seems like the 8th is going by the wayside.
15th would be fine.
Okay. And,
Whether it's combined or not is the other question.
yeah, thank you.
I don't think we should combine them, just
Okay.
for the fact that we want to keep them a little bit separate from each other.
A little cleaner.
And I think it just does, it makes it much easier
Okay.
to do it.
Let's go with that. We can still come back to this at the next meeting, but let's go with that initially. I think we need to lock in on the
David and
15th.
Bernie?
Yeah, I'm going to do David, just summarizing as we go for Sandra. David, what do you think?
I agree with Dan.
Okay, there you go.
And Sarah?
Bernie, what do you think?
I think 15th is fine.
Okay.
When are the towns gonna vote on the Pioneer District Agreement?
Hasn't been returned by the district yet.
Okay,
So we're going to be chatting about that on Thursday night.
Yes.
okay.
So we will need to
I
bring
just
that
was
back.
wondering if you had both of them, if you didn't want them both at the same time.
Don't have both of them. At least they haven't been turned to the town officially.
Okay.
We can come back to that because that's where my question is, Bernie, is the discussion that occurs for 6-town and 3-town will be very similar. So it might make sense to get both of those out of the way if that's a reality for the three-town agreement. But we'll know more after Thursday night, hopefully. Okay, good. So we've got that out of the way. And then I think also on the 15th, that gives a little bit more room on the information session sides as we develop the warrant. I don't think we have discussed a lot, but we've got a few. Let's put that on the next agenda as well, about how the non-school thing items for the warrant are shaping up. So then we'll know how big of a town meeting we'll need.
So we're not setting the date for the town meeting, especially the fall town
Well,
meeting?
yeah, I don't know that you haven't given, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, unless anybody has any preferences looking at the calendar right now. We can come back to it.
I think there's things that we have to get solidified before we can actually
Yeah.
give a date for the special town
Why
meeting.
does this feel like a Highland Ave project with, this has gotta, you know what I mean? This piece has gotta be in and this piece has gotta be in, and then we'll
Any
know more.
project, just a building project of any sort.
Just have to be careful to know that it's so crazy, but it's coming fast. Because
Yes.
assume you kept the fall town meeting on the 12th, you're actually signing the warrant October 28th, which will be less than a month after your next meeting,
But,
on the 30th, so.
exactly, so thank you for the
So we're
warning.
skipping the week of Veterans Day as far as the meeting.
Well, no, that's another discussion you may not want to. You may want to go Monday, the 10th. I mean,
Or Wednesday, right?
well, Wednesday might be the fall town meeting. That's-
Oh, crap, yes. I'm
I
sorry.
don't know, unless you move it. See,
Yeah.
that's why there's a whole bunch of moving pieces here.
Okay, can we tentatively, let's do this, can we tentatively put in, for now, subject to change if needed, Monday on the 10th?
Yes.
And that's when the Finance Committee meets, so if we needed a joint meeting, we could do it on the 10th, November 10th.
And they might do one the 3rd, you could do one the 3rd instead if you needed. So,
Let's go with that for now, so we can start firming this up a little bit. Okay,
the Finance Committee is also potentially could meet on the 3rd. So-
okay. And then at the next meeting, absolutely, we have to talk about the Fall Town
Yeah,
meetings again. And let's go through what a possible warrant looks like. So that'll give us a little bit more of an idea of how another special town meeting would shape up and how the rest of this falls into place.
All right, and then we
Okay.
need to put, also on the agenda is the electronic voting for next meeting. We had pushed it.
Yep,
from
I
this
have,
meeting.
yeah, I
Okay.
have that on there. So I'll send you an email on,
Okay.
with a reminder. As all of this is shaping up. And, okay, let's move on then, shall we?
Do we schedule anything in December, or do we leave that for now?
Now, December,
it actually just falls,
On the 9th and the 23rd?
yeah, December, we're good. It was just,
if you meet the 25th in November, then you're the 9th, the 23rd, January 6th, January 20th, and you don't have to move anything else
Yeah.
right now.
yeah.
It kind of all
It just-
falls,
When I looked at it, I just thought November was a little tricky.
just that one date.
Yep, okay. All right, and then we'll
And then
update this and bring it back to the next
reason I'm
meeting.
going to ask this question, and Dan alluded to it, do you want to do a public information session? If we're putting together a handout or information, I'd like to put the date of an information session in that material, because we might mail that material
Yeah,
about the sixth town. The other, at least Bernardston and Leiden are scheduling information sessions in their town information sessions, and inviting the sixth town regional, and I think even the district, to come to them, to their meeting, to talk about.
Sixtown is doing, as I have under announcement, Sixtown is doing information sessions in September and October.
Right, so
So you're talking about an information session
that they,
for our special town meeting that
well,
is potentially
are they
non.
doing one in Northfield? Because we haven't heard about that.
Yeah, they are.
They have a date?
Sixtown, they have 3 dates.
in
What are the dates?
Informational one,
The
September
first
25th.
informational one is September 25th on Thursday at 6 PM, which is down under announcements
But where is that?
I think
at the
it's in-
library.
Okay, that's the first I've heard of it.
I think they're also, Sixtown is meeting tonight, and we'll know more
So
tomorrow.
they're going to have 3 informational sessions, or we have our choice of those 3?
thought they were gonna
No,
have one in each
they're
town.
offering 3 informational sessions on solely 6 towns at the library.
Okay.
Yep.
And they're listed, the dates are under announcements? No, it
25th.
just says the 25th.
I just put the 25th. When I do the next one for September 30th, I'll list out the October ones too. And when we get information from, presumably from 6 town this week, based on what they're discussing tonight, then can you send that out to the group? Because that'll help clarify all of
If they
this.
contact me, I haven't heard from them.
I'll
I
make
didn't-
say they
yeah,
contact
Because I didn't know
you.
anything about these.
I'll make sure they
That'd be
contact
good.
you if
So we
if
can
you
get it on the
haven't been
website would be
notified. Yeah.
good.
And I put the website down there at 6towns.org. Okay. All right, thanks for that. Water infrastructure, update on East Northfield Water Company, Grandin Water District transitions, next steps with the legislative team and Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection. So in your packet, there was a memorandum summarizing a meeting that we had, that Andrea and I had with Senator Comerford and Western Mass Director Kristen Aleko from the governor's office regarding water. We also talked about sewer too, but this is the memo on water because what the sticking point is the filtration on the reservoir for the East Northfield Water Company. And so what Senator Comerford and Kristen Aleko have volunteered to do is to get some help and attention from Mass DEP on that solution because it's so expensive. The new water district, Grandin Water District, is unable to accept all the assets because of all of the liabilities that go with it. So they're kind of in a holding pattern. And the chair of the Grandin Water District, Tim Cosgrove, was at this meeting as well. So this basically summarizes the discussion as well as the history and the steps moving forward.
So, I
And
mean, one of the issues is that the filtration, that's existed for a
Ever.
while, right? They brought it up before Grandin.
East Northfield Water Company has been working on this for how many? Certainly within my 5
I mean,
years on the
working with
board.
quotations, right? Because like everything,
Yeah.
there hasn't been update to the infrastructure, the water lines at all. I mean, they're breaking when you look at them.
Well, they have
So-
replaced a couple. I know they did
Yeah.
a new main on Pearson Road.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I mean, there's some significant issues, and so the question is, in addition to, one of the sticking points is the filtration. I understand that's what, a couple
That's
million
the
dollars.
biggest one.
Well,
Oh, no,
yeah, but
it's higher than that.
It is?
Millions,
Millions?
tens of them.
Oh my gosh.
So the water district have had a great working relationship and done a lot of work on examining everything with the East Northfield Water Company. The East Northfield Water Company has done a lot of testing and coming up with what they feel would be a $1 to $2 million solution.
Right, that's the number I had heard.
And as Senator Comerford accurately pointed out, that's the hurdle. If we got from millions down to 1 or 2 million, that's a game changer.
But
Right.
it's all on DEP.
But it's
prove
all,
that.
that decision is on DEP. So the senator, this isn't her first, or Kristen, that's not their first tour in a small town with water and sewer infrastructure issues.
Right.
So they're going to help get a meeting put together and see if Northfield can somehow be a test case, not a test case, but moving this issue forward.
Right, 'cause
And
we've been
if
sitting on it
we
for a
can do
while.
it, then conceivably other small towns could do it as well.
What about the pipes, though? I mean, so they're going to need to go, there needs to be a major replacement. The thing that I had heard was that one of the reasons it was hard for Grandin to take over was that there was so much work that needed doing, even independent of the filtration, that it was going to be, they couldn't afford to take it over. And so I understand the filtration's a big thing, and I think it's wonderful that we're doing it, and one bite at a time, and all that.
It's
But
actually
I'm
a
eager-
huge
I'm eager
obstacle.
to
Yeah.
hear also about the pipes.
I'm not sure that the lines have been the obstacle. At least that's not what we've been
That
told.
isn't, yeah. The other obstacle is, which would be solved by this huge, removing this huge obstacle, would be East Northfield Water Company, so similar to what the sewer's done and gone and pursued funding for an asset management plan and other things
Right.
like that. East Northfield Water Company, because they're private, can't
Can't
go
get any
after
funding.
USDA funding and things like that.
Which is why we've moved it to Grandin, right?
Not
Why
the-
That's why we were trying to.
move it to Grandin,
But-
right.
Then
So-
they could do that.
So again, it comes back to the filtration thing. They can't move a darn thing, including going after new grants,
Got it.
until we get rid of the filtration piece. It's all
Okay.
backed up behind the,
Right.
so to speak.
Catch
behi-
22.
Yeah.
And on this note, it talks about expanding to areas in need like the Ridge. Are we talking about winter water there? Because right now they just turn it off for the winter.
There's water in some places and water not in other places. But even the water that is there in the summer is running above ground. So obviously if you're going to do any kind of analysis like they've done with sewer, you're going to look at that infrastructure for water as well.
Right.
So if you do get into getting some funding because you're now public and doing some kind of management plan or asset evaluation, I'm sure that one of the things they would look at is how they're supplying water to the Ridge, both
Yep,
this winter and the summer.
yep. And Ridge is on our, on the radar for sewer as well. Okay. So that's listed under ongoing updates. That
Oncoming train?
That will, careful the light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, on to Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, otherwise known as FERC. So as I had stated at an earlier meeting, I went to the July in-person hearing for this, and then also read through the draft environmental impact statement, which was hundreds of pages. Plus, I read the comments, which are 28 pages and extremely well done from FERCog. Thank you, Andrea Donlin. And then I submitted, you have the letter in your packet as to what I submitted, which was emphasizing, I'll just summarize this quickly. The major concerns with what FERC has proposed is upstream versus downstream. The recommendation is for them to reconsider their assumptions regarding the fluctuations upstream in what's called the Turner's Falls impoundment, or the TFI is everything that's above the dam. So we feel like there's not enough attention to above the dam and the elevation, and making sure that we're not just having lots of changes in elevation, because that moves on to the second topic, which is erosion impacts. So if you want to read through the FERCog comments, which has charts and pictures, I mean, it's a detailed but easy read. What we were asking for was to please strongly consider alternatives under which First Light is required to operate in a manner to minimize fluctuations to the Turner's Falls impoundment. And then the third area was to continue to support tribal engagement, which includes a provision for annual or biennial monitoring of impoundment margins to identify previously unidentified archaeological sites that may be exposed during project operations over the course of the new license. Which basically means we want care to be taken in such a way so that the tribes and the historical commissions can weigh in on archaeological findings. Okay, and those are all interrelated. So that basically summarized basically a month's worth of reading, and that was submitted. And then the page before that talks about, I'm just going to give you a highlight for the coming year, is they moved the comment date from July to August, so that's done. And FERC was planning on issuing a final environmental impact statement in January of 2026. I don't know if that's going to change based on the fact that they moved the comment dates out by a month. So I will keep you in the loop on that. Any questions?
Done.
Nope.
Thank you.
First Light is the First Light argued and didn't pay, is First Light the one that didn't pay taxes? They asked for an abatement and,
They went to appellate tax court.
Yeah, but
And
that,
we lost.
yeah,
Well,
that-
we settled.
Okay.
we settled for a lot of money when it was actually owed. Is there any way to put, is the part about that in this agreement already
No.
done?
this has,
Nothing
that
to
has
do.
nothing to do with FERC. Absolutely nothing.
So
It's
FERC
tot-
It's their license,
the license to,
their federal license to operate.
right,
For another 50 years on the river.
I know.
Yeah.
So my point is, they are operating on the river. They're not paying their taxes.
Well, they're paying
They
their
pay it.
taxes.
Yeah.
But didn't we have to pay them $300,000?
We assessed them for X number of dollars. They disputed the assessment. So it went to,
In order to file an abatement, you have to pay your taxes in full. So they paid their taxes in full. They filed for the abatement. They were denied. They took it to appellate tax court. The matter was settled. When the matter is settled, you have to pay back them. You can't sit on the amount. If it's settled, you have to refund. Plus, depending on the length of time, you have to refund any interest. This is true of any homeowner who
Yep.
files an abatement.
I understand, but-
Then you have to send back the amount of money that is owed back to them based on the settlement and interest. So they
And we settled because they're the 500-pound gorilla. Like it would cost
We
more money
settled because-
to argue.
appellate tax board is pretty determinative. If you want to take it to Superior Court, at some point, you're going to pay a lot of money to fight it. And the interest builds. And
I'm
we
just
don't know
saying that in
you're
an
gonna-
agreement for relicensing, they should be, one of the parts of the agreement is we'll pay our damn taxes. So that's just my.
I don't think that they can, I don't think the federal license can force them to pay state tax, local taxes. Be nice, but
Yes.
I don't think we're
Right.
going to get that.
Yeah, that's separate from this. This is all about the environmental impact,
Right.
so. And then also I'll keep you in the loop on whatever comes out of the Mass DEP, or Department of Environmental Protection process that's in parallel to this. Okay, on to the next. Pioneer Valley Regional School District. A couple of things, but one, I just want to indicate on you had a letter in the packet regarding their new planning team, and they have agreed to have a municipal representative from each town to that. They're going to be doing some strategic planning and visioning, and they have a consultant for that. Unfortunately, I just want to preempt this discussion a bit. Most of the meetings are on our select board nights. So normally I would be looking at you going, do you want to take that role on?
Yeah.
But
First meeting was tonight.
first meeting was tonight, so Finance Committee met last night and Morgan O'Brien stepped up.
Oh, great.
So,
I think they're just looking for you to affirm her.
correct.
Who is
So
it?
Morgan
Morgan.
O'Brien,
Morgan
Yeah.
O'Brien from the
Yeah.
Finance Committee.
and she's at the meeting tonight.
Excellent.
So we thank her highly, and we just want to concur and take a motion. I'd like to entertain a motion on appointing Morgan O'Brien as recommended by the Finance Committee to be the municipal representative from Northfield to the new planning team that's happening with the Pioneer Valley Regional School District.
So moved.
second.
All those in favor?
No, wait. Discussion.
Oh, discussion.
So what is her role going to be? What's she going to be doing? Is she going to bring us back reports?
At the meeting, I said to her, and at some point probably afterwards, the select board probably ask you to come in and just
Give a report.
Yep.
say, you know what.
And she is not the type of person that's not going to ask questions. So she'll be there to ask, if she's allowed to ask questions. That's the biggest thing we
Yeah,
found out.
she should
So
be.
she
Yeah.
was actually almost chomping at the bit. We didn't even have to twist her arm or anything. She was very glad to do it. So that was great. So she
Yeah, I
is
think
a
she's been
definite
keeping
asset to the finance
abreast
committee.
of district news.
Yeah.
So she will be coming back, and I think based on the span of the meetings, when we get to the joint finance committee and select board meeting, that will be a good topic then too as well. Okay, do you want to talk a little bit about, we've had this liaison role. In the past, it's been focused at the collective bargaining representative role, and
Oh, that's a
also,
municipal representative. The collective bargaining is municipal.
correct. But usually that has lined up with that person who was doing liaison work. And prior to that, I think we used it to discuss the SRO with PVRS, but not too much came of it and not too much was done with it. So do you have some other thoughts that you wanted to share with the select board on the
Yes.
role itself and
Or
how?
budget, why didn't they go to the
Yes,
budget?
I do.
meeting?
So,
And what? I'm sorry.
Didn't they go to the budget meetings, or wasn't that some of the intent?
Yes, but I ended up going, Bernie Parada and I from the Finance Committee ended up going to all the budget hearings anyway, so, yeah. Go ahead,
so
sorry.
my
Sarah.
idea was just to, I go to the meetings and note things that I think people will be interested in. And because we had some miscommunications where they didn't come to finance and we had this meeting up here and people were upset, and I thought it would be good just to keep abreast of what was going on, and so I offered to do that. And so, you know, every couple of meetings, I just have a quick page of notes here that I can read that are exciting things that I think the town would be interested in.
So school committee meetings.
School committee
School
meeting.
committee.
So you're coming, I just want to restate, so you're going to the school committees and then coming back and just giving us a highlight on what topics they're discussing and how that might affect Northfield.
But you're not interacting with them, or are you just taking notes?
The first night I went, they have a citizen's concerns and I introduced myself. But other than that, I don't interact, but what I do is I'm also the municipal for collective bargaining. And there's only one for all three towns, and 3 people went and they said, I was interested because I was interested in what was going on, and so the other 2 towns allowed me to take that role. So I would be going to that part anyway, and so it seemed like a good way to go and hear some things going on. So,
How long do you need?
like 3 minutes.
Okay,
It's going
good.
to be really super
Okay.
fast.
Do we have to vote on Morgan O'Brien?
Oh, sorry. Yes, we do.
Yeah, you're in
Yes,
discussion.
we did.
You're in the
you.
middle of discussion on
We're
a
still in
motion.
discussion.
Or I just, yeah. I
We
mean,
all-
Because
At some
remember I
point we
said,
have
hey,
to
let's
vote.
discuss.
Yes, all those in favor? Aye. Thank you, Bernie. Okay.
Okay, so they had a new director of teaching and learning who came and provided a summary of her research on the district, and it was really interesting. She cited an overall strength in forward progress. Current highest priorities for her are strategic planning and comprehensive curriculum coordination, meaning that everybody's gonna, when a student goes to one class that's titled calculus, every calculus class is the same. They had an extended school year for those in the summer for students who have an IEP, and that went really well, and there were some people telling stories about just how well they connected and how really good it was for these IEP students. You guys know that they have those cell phone pouches, and it's evidently going fabulously. They're going to give a report coming up, but students and parents were required to sign an information about that before they got their Chromebook. So every student in the high school gets a Chromebook, and so they signed information about that. There was an air quality monitor provided by FERCog's Community Health Improvement Plan, and so parents and citizens, it's at the school, and parents and citizens can go on the FERCog Community Health Improvement Plan website and Healthy Air Network and just look at the air quality. Insurance increases that we had here, they also talked about. And so they, in order to handle that on the school budget, they paused the hiring of an early childhood coordinator and elimination of the business office support position. So they're doing it by, they're handling these increases by reducing other hires and jobs.
I think they've also combined some work into another position, yeah.
They,
Because they had quite a bit to make
really
up.
incredible, really good enrollment numbers, so that's exciting. Those haven't come out yet, so I'll get those at the next meeting and I'll bring them all to you. And then PVRS now has agreements with Winchester, New Hampshire, Vernon, Vermont, and Warren, Mass for students who will be allowed to attend the school other than their local school by choice. And there were some finaglings to do with IEPs and stuff like that, and so they had to sign separate contracts with everybody. So that's exciting because we're getting folks from.
I'm still a little
different states.
stuck on enrollment numbers. Isn't October 1st the date when they have to submit enrollment numbers to DESI?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but school just started, so they're going to give a report. That's why I don't have the numbers. They didn't give
Yeah.
a report. They just discussed that it was very positive. So,
Okay,
and then
we'll see.
update on the residency affidavit to assure that registration is limited to families that are eligible to attend PVRS. And there was some cool, it was discussed in executive session and then released. I checked to make sure it was okay to mention. There's a 100-mile club where students and teachers go out and walk 100 miles, a Lego club, I think these are at the NES, one's at Bernardston and one's at NES, and a Plants and Pollinators Club. So they're really having a great participation with that. And then there's one other thing. Oh, so community support is sought for PVRS 2025 middle school trip to Washington, D.C. The trip is actually happening September 10th, 2025, but they took money out of the field trip fund to enable these kids to be able to go on this D.C. trip, but it took a lot of money out of the field trip fund. So they're asking if anybody is interested to give donations for that field trip fund for the school, and they would send it to Emily Andrews, 97F Sumner Turner Road in Northfield. Is just the school.
Okay.
But Emily Andrews is the person to send it to. Okay, that's it.
And a lot of that,
Did they discuss any warts at all, or is everything fantastic?
I brought back the things that I thought were most interesting of the evening. I didn't notice any
Negative.
warts. They were bringing in, I mean, they talked about the insurance issues, and they had a couple of new hires that were coming in and giving like reports, and they have a new finance person instead of Jordan.
they hired Taffy.
They hired Taffy
Bassett Fox. Yep.
And
For $125,000.
and
How many applicants did they get for that position, do you know?
I don't know. When I had started attending, it was kind of fait accompli. It was after it was done.
Okay.
So I can ask that.
Actually, I think we need to be careful about, they're capturing a lot of this in the minutes too, because I caught up on their minutes this past weekend, which are very detailed. So I just want to make sure we're not saying anything officially so much as just kind of going through the topics and then not really discussing them, because then, you know, as Patricia would rightly point out, is then she really should be here talking about any questions about it. So why don't we move on to citizen concerns? We're good on that. Topics not reasonably anticipated.
For what?
Susan.
You asked me to check number of applicants for what?
Yep.
That position.
Finance director.
Finance.
Finance director.
I was just curious.
Yep.
Okay.
I think that's in their minutes too. Committee and board appointments. Can I get a motion to appoint Bob Henry officially? He's been our unofficial flag bearer to the flag committee, term expiring June 30th, 2026.
So moved.
So moved.
Second?
The only thing with that, there was a couple of days that he kind of informed me, but I wasn't in town a couple of times, that when they put the flag at half-mast, we do put now a black ribbon on our
great.
flag. So
Great.
we're trying to work that out.
Good.
And the other thing we're
Thank
looking
you.
into is a solar light that we can put on there so it's can be lit up at night.
Great.
It won't cost anything, but we'll see whose budget that's coming out of.
Okay. All those in favor?
Second.
Second, thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. And thank you, Barbara Lemoyne. Can I get a motion to appoint her to the Cultural Council, term expiring June 30th, 2028?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
You had 3 seconds on that one.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bernie won.
Otherwise, yep. Reappointments of, I'd like to get a motion to reappoint Kelly Sibley and Amy Grover as election officers, terms expiring August 15th, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Great.
Aye.
I don't know if David got that one. I think that was Bernie too.
Yeah, I'd like a motion to reappoint Robin McEwen to the Board of Registrars, term expiring August 15th, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And thank you to those who are stepping up to do it all over again for voting. Announcement, September 10th is the deadline to sign up for hazardous waste collection event on September 20th. More info can be found on the Franklin County Solid Waste District website, which I've included in the agenda. And as we mentioned earlier, the information session for the proposed 6-town regional agreement representing several years of work since at least 2018, 2019 at the Dickinson Memorial Library on Thursday, September 25th at 6 p.m. Website is 6towns.org. Finally, recognition for...
Well, wait, I have an announcement question about when are we going to announce the dates for the, when are the dates for the fall meeting and stuff going to be on the website? When is our new website coming up?
Picked it, well, we're in the middle of that.
We'll put that on the agenda,
But-
and when we solidify the schedule at the next meeting, then we'll talk about posting arrangements. I just want to recognize that our treasurer recently became a quote-unquote certified Massachusetts municipal treasurer.
Woohoo!
Woo! This is
Good job.
Michelle
3
Turner.
years of school, and you get to take the test, and she passed.
Good job.
Great.
Yeah,
That's
so
great.
congratulations to her. If you're stopping by to pay taxes, please thank
That'd
her.
be nice.
'Cause she's also our
Treasurer.
I know, but she's also our tax collector.
She's been a certified tax collector for a number of years. This is
Nice.
the
This is
treasurer piece.
amazing,
So
that-
she's now both,
yeah.
certified in both.
And then,
So kind and really
And our
good at her
accountant,
job.
is she certified also?
Yep.
Oh, Erin, yeah,
Yeah,
big
so we
state
have some
certification.
very commendable
we have a
and
deep
educated
financial
people.
Deep
bench.
bench.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then also, thanks to Jennifer Shabbat for 10 years of working with the junior firefighters. And I talked to Skip about this. I mentioned, because Jennifer has been hardworking for 10 years. She's the
Yay!
impetus behind it, but also Amanda Donnell has been a
Yeah.
huge component in junior firefighters. So just want to give her a shout out. And I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
8,
Good work, you guys.
2.
That was a lot.
Okay.
Time for dinner.